What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Fact Show. And today's Thursday. I think it is all day. Um, it's been a crazy day today. You got Donald Trump signing another executive order. He's like executive order crazy. I remember where he used to say, "Oh, Obama's signing so many executive orders," and then when Biden comes in, he's signing so many executive orders. This man has surpassed probably everybody in America's executive orders in American history. I mean, it's just insane. Every day it's close, do this, close, do that, do this, do that through executive order. And it's supposed to be like follow like it's a law. Remember when Biden did it, it was like, no, we're fighting this. There ain't no way in hell this is going to happen. Obama did it, same thing. Mitch McConnell's like, no way, not going to happen. This dude, it's the law now that he said it. It's like, no, it can actually be overturned, just like President Biden's the loans and stuff like that to pay back school loans. They took it to court, made it was unconstitutional for a minute, and they stopped it after it had been done for a little while. So same situation here, they're fighting back. But see, that's politics as normal. We all know politics is no longer normal. The people who decided to vote Trump and his sycophants in, some knowing, most knowing and some not, that this man was a tyrant. That this man was going to do exactly what he kept saying he's going to do at his rallies. It's not surprising, a lot of those people, that Donald Trump is doing it. In fact, they're sitting back and enjoying the fact of watching other people's pain. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The pictures of all the turmoil and these Venezuelan people and others being, kicked out of the country, taken by way of force, laws coming out, or not laws, but his decree coming out like, oh, you can just snatch people up, and you can just break into their house, breaking all the rights and laws that they have, citizens, and say that they're criminals. It's like, how do you know that they're criminals? Oh, they got tattoos. Their tattoos tell you that they are criminals. And that's what they did to these people. Hey, Earthkeeper, how you doing? And so it's been a struggle watching all this stuff. And, like I say, I try to stay on the positive side of some negative stuff that's happening. I try. But it's hard to be positive on things that are destroying the world as you know it. And again, I'm not an alarmist. I'm a realist. I tell straight facts. I look at history. I learn from it. I don't try my damnedest. Well, I do try my damnedest not to repeat it. That's the point of having history. That's the point of knowing it. You don't make the same mistakes. We don't have to go back and you don't have to create like the airplane. We've already created it. So you look back in history, like, oh, okay, and that's how you make this year's plane better than when the Wright brothers had their plane. It's new because we know the history and we keep learning from it and we get better. Same here. Learn from what happened in Germany. We already know what happened, right? And therefore, we should fix it and see it and stop it instead of just looking at it like, oh, what's going on? What's going on is Hitler all over again. The Holocaust hasn't started, but Hitler all over again before the Holocaust. You have to understand. Stop equating Hitler to just the Holocaust. That is the most horrific aspect of it. But how did he get there? That's the point you need to be paying attention. He's not the end of Hitler. He is the beginning Hitler. And I'm not talking about like the very beginning. He's at least halfway there, if not more. Because we don't know. The thing with Hitler, they did not know. People don't understand. People think that with Hitler, it just happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like he came in and he bulldozed and got his way in. No, they worked their way through the whole system. Just like any other country. They had parliament. They had laws. Just like our democracy. They had their laws. And he bypassed all that. Right? And we spoke about that. He bypassed it through the Reichstag fire. It was a disaster that took over the area. That was more likely their Congress, or so to speak, their government offices, whatever. He blamed it on the opposition, right? And by blaming it on the opposition, which later on they come to find out, more than likely, it was his people. Well, it was his people. One guy agreed to say he started a fire long after it was over. But they started that fire, blamed it on the opposition, and then they went to the president and said, hey, we can fix this. We know it was the opposition. In reality, that president was making a deal with the devil. The devil that he was talking to was Hitler, who actually got the president to get rid of civil liberties, civil liberties, and therefore people had no rights. So they started arresting the opposition and unaliving them. This is what Republicans want to do. I don't care if this person, Republican, is your cousin, uncle, husband, whatever. These people look like they're nice to you, but they're trying to give your life a complete overhaul in a destructive way. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see it. It's that everybody's playing political games. Even the Democrats, they're playing political games, meaning they don't want to make you all afraid and make it official. But what they're doing is going on TV shows and saying it without saying it. See, they're not using Hitler's name because they're like, oh, people don't want to hear the Hitler stuff. So they're saying authoritarian, of things of that nature, autocracy, or oligarchs. All these are pieces of a dictatorship. These words, I'm pretty sure they did studies. These words make people less scared. I ain't here to play games. I ain't here to dance around the shit. I'm here to tell the fucking truth. Everything they're saying is a dictatorship. They're just trying to feed it to you in baby slices. I ain't here to give you applesauce. I'm giving you the straight steak. Chew that shit. They're trying to spoon feed you, baby feed you, and tell you, look, oligarch. What is an oligarch under? A dictatorship. Look, authoritarianism. What is that? Dictatorship. But they're saying it on these shows and these rallies and these town halls in a very matter-of-fact way. I mean, maybe they know better than me about that, but I'm just saying, for me, I want to be fed the truth hard. I don't want no fucking baby shit. Because baby shit, I kind of like, oh, okay, so I got about, what, 8 months or something? I can keep on doing what I'm doing. No, you don't have that. You know that once you realize, and you got to do your research on this, you don't recognize a dictatorship taking over your country when it's happening. The moment you start recognizing it, like we are, 9 times out of 10, it's too late. Once you start seeing it and the people start seeing it, it's already in motion. Why? Because they have strategized. They have wrote books to follow. That's what Hitler did. He studied how America turned African-American people or African people into slaves. That's how he studied what to do to the Jews. It's just regurgitated from American. The way America did it to the black people here, African people, indigenous people, the way they did it, they studied that and implemented that even more harsher. And I mean say harsher, I mean like in a sense of theirs was immediate unaliving. Ours, I think we may have chose the opposite direction. You got rid of it, it's been a lot easier than to go through hundreds of years of hell. Theirs was 4 years of torture. Ours was like 300-400 years of it, 250 years of enslavement, of torture. I think I would choose 4 years over 250, but that's just me, personal choice. But the reality is both things are exactly what Hitler did, what Europeans did, and what Trump's doing now. He demonized people of color. He demonized the Latin people when he was there the first time, talking about they're coming over an invasion. Invasion is a term of war. He got these people thinking that these people are coming over here to harm us, when in fact they're coming over here to get away from pain. See, these people have no heart. They have no emotion. They have no empathy. They have no sympathy. None of it. None of it. People are in pain. They laugh it off. They act like, Don't believe me. I want to show you real quick a town hall and how they went about it. There's one lady in there you'll see near the end, how she handles the group of Republicans, because she's in a Republican state, how she handles, and I'm sure there's some Republicans in there that's clapping, but most of them are booing. But check out how she handles it. See if I get this right.
Members of Congress who aren't afraid to host town halls are hearing directly from their constituents who have a lot to say to both Republican and Democratic lawmakers.
In terms of the work that I have specifically been doing.
But where is the coordinated effort?
This is, I think, a Democrat.
None of this feels like you're fighting for us, for Colorado, for our kids, for our grandkids.
It's so bizarre to me how obsessed you are with federal government. But here's the thing.
That's it right there. When I don't know if I got to the very end because that cuts off real quick. She's just sitting there like, look at them. They're just acting up. I know what I'm talking about. You guys don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Why are you guys so enamored by the federal government? Could it be because there's no federal government without my fucking dollars? There's no such thing as a federal government without my money? The fuck is she talking about? They act like they own the country. Oh, no worries, Vera. They act like they own the country. Why do you care about the federal government so much? The hell is she talking about? That's where we pay our taxes. That's what helps people who are either homeless, poor, can't make up the difference in the cost of living, even though they're working poor. It helps the rich, like Elon Musk, get $400 million for their trashy ass Teslas. I mean, come on, lady. What the fuck was that question? What is that? What the fuck was that? Asking us why the American citizen. I'm shocked how you care so much about the federal government. And then Donald Trump closes, or says he's closing. He already signed the executive order to close the Department of Education. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that is for you, me, our kids, our grandkids, future grandkids, and that and the like. The school system, again, the cities, the states already take care of about 90% of what their school gets. They get about 10% of their funding from the government. And think about this. The city, I don't know where you guys live at, but I live in California. Even in the suburbs, the school, the cities, states, and stuff like that are paying 90% of the schooling, right? Taking care of it, and they determine the structure of it. Government can step in and say, if this is not happening, there could be a lawsuit, and your funding that we give you, 10% we do give you, we can take away. Things of that nature so that you can make it fair in schools and stuff of that nature. But for the most part, the cities and states run everything. So taking this 10% away, think about what this 10% already included. How much you still, if you have children or had children, you still had to give the public schools. Think about how many times you've seen on all these social media accounts, whether it be, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, Twitter when it used to be Twitter, all the different social media accounts. How many times you saw teachers buying stuff for kids, whether it be something for painting in school, materials, to glue, to, safe scissors, all kinds of different things. Manila paper so they can make stuff like that. I think it's called manila, but all the different things that they need. And then how many times the parents have brought that toner to school or bought a printer for the school, or a classroom, or whatever it may be. That was with the 10%, and they still needed that. So you're going to take the 10% away, and you think that the education level for your kids is going to go up? You think the prices of what it's been costing you to take care of your kid to go to school and that stuff you're going to buy less? No, you're going to have to buy more. And with the cost of everything going up, how are you going to do that? It takes a special kind of hateful idiot to sit here and think that these people are for you when they're taking everything away from you. What do you think is going to happen when all this stuff goes down? You think your taxes are going to be lower because they're getting rid of all this stuff? No, none whatsoever. They don't need it, so they don't need our taxes. You think they're going to lower the taxes for you? The government still needs to run, and these rich people still want their $300 million, $400 million, $2 trillion deals. You think they're going to say, oh, give the people a tax cut? So when you think about it, they're asking you for more money and then taking away the programs in which you need it to survive off of. That should piss off any American citizen, whether you're independent, Democrat, Republican, or just an American citizen. Should piss you off automatically, because now you're going to be paying your taxes into the state and the government and receiving nothing in return. How's that going to be? Now, I know they'll promise you the world. Oh, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. No. It can't get better when you put less money into the government. Right now is with the money in the government. And how's your life so far? Shit falling apart because Donald Trump's manufacturing a recession. He's manufacturing one because we were doing well before he came in. What, 2 months ago? Don't know about you, but 2 months ago, life was better for me. After he did this, there's so many products that I have, that monthly products, all of them going up. All of them. Internet, all the different resources that I purchased to do this stuff, to find information, the good news sources that I have to pay for to be able to be aware, all of them going up. And then you're going to tell me that you're going to cut everything. You ain't going to give nobody really no tax break. They're going to give these rich people the tax break. You may get $100. You may get $300. If you got a family, you may end up getting a couple $1,000s. But what's that going to do when everything goes up? And these companies are going to be like, oh, you know what? Everything costs so much, we're just going to have to lay people off because we're not making enough profit. After getting tens of millions and billions of dollars of our tax dollars in their pockets, they're going to start firing people. They're already doing it. I don't know what people are going to do, but I know we have to fight. Now, I've been trying to figure out like what we're going to do. How can Americans do it? And I told you guys, I put out a video today, asking about democracy again, a different version of it. Because again, if you haven't heard, and people who are here should know, is that, this campaign and what I'm doing is getting people to answer the question of what is a democracy to them. Because I find that when I ask people questions about it, what is a democracy, I get a varying number of answers. And oftentimes it's not exactly what a democracy is, but it's their feeling of what one is. And the idea is, even if those feelings that you have a democracy, are they still here, or has it faded away, or do you feel it's stronger? Things of that nature. As the questions start to come on, people will start to have this understanding of what a democracy is for them, what now is changing, or is it better for them? So they can start having an understanding of what they're losing. Because when you get day-to-day stuff, sometimes you get caught up and you forget. Or you just, you work, you get off the job, come home, do what you got to do, go to bed, wake up, do it again. So you're stuck in this cycle that you don't really think about the quality of life that you're having. You're just in your own particular bubble. And it's like, everything I've been doing is the same. But when you turn on the news, you hear about the things that are going on around the world, you absolutely know it's not the same. 100% not the same. So the questions that I've been asking and doing research on, I'm gonna share some stuff with y'all in a sec, is, we always talk, I've been trying to ask people, like, what should we do? And I know they've been asking the same question at the town halls. What should we do? But I wanted to know what we should not be doing as well. And I'm gonna read, as I've done my research and also searched through ChatGPT and typed in everything that I understood from the research I got, and it gave me more in-depth information than I found on my own. But it summarized it, because I'm trying to juxtapose what Hitler did in the earlier years and what Trump is doing now, and how even ChatGPT will blend those two together and say, this is what Trump is doing, that's exactly like Hitler, these are the things that are not. And there's really not a lot that's not like him, but it's just more like when it says it's not like him, it's talking about these particular instances that happened. Like, there was no fire. But what Donald Trump is trying to do is cause destruction. He's not burning anything down except for our economy, our relationships with our allies, while he is becoming closer to our enemies. You have to understand, if we become a dictatorship, which he wants to do, these dictators are his friends. He is trying to get into the dictatorship like country club. The dictators. He's more friendly to them than he is to anybody else. So we're going to go into this and say what not to do when we're trying to fight, when we fight a dictatorship, someone who's trying to turn it into a dictatorship. And this is verbatim, I'm reading it. So when fighting against a dictatorship, especially one following the Hitler to Trump playbook, there are critical mistakes we must avoid. History has shown that how you resist matters just as much as whether you resist at all. Here's what you should not do if you want to win this battle. The number one thing we should not do, and what we've been doing at that rally they've been doing, at that town hall they've been doing, going off on people they've been doing. It's a good thing that they're getting upset with the people, but the one thing we should not do is that assume the institutions will save us. We should not assume the institutions that are in place right now are going to save us. And see, that's what the Democrats have been doing, is relying on the laws. Now, see, you guys been around for a minute. You know I was always upset, like, all y'all doing is going to court. All you're doing is going to court. Again, I was wrong. That is how you defeat a dictatorship. You must get into the courts and make the system work. If the system works, the system is an effective tool. The legal system is an effective tool to thwart dictatorship. This is why you see Donald Trump and his minions trying to get everybody to hate judges, because they have to get the law to bend for them. If not, they got other ways to win, but this right here is one of the major ways to win, to turn a democracy into a dictatorship for them. So we have to be strong on fighting legally and hold our judges accountable to stand up to the Constitution and not to pressures of Donald Trump and his dictatorial mentality and his little gang that he has with him. Because that's what they are. They're tantamount to a gang. Because they don't care about America, they care about themselves. They care about owning things. They care about colonizing other places. It is our ancestors who started slavery all over again. The people that you say you're not your grandparents, and they say, oh, we don't want to know about the history because we're not doing that stuff back in the day. No, you are doing those things, those exact same things. That's why they wanted it out of the school, so the kids and everybody else growing up wouldn't know that it's repeating. Wouldn't recognize it because they're implementing it again under a different guise, but pretty much the same thing. We're saving the country. That's what enslavement was. We're saving the country from these radical black people who taught us every damn thing. Oh, wait a minute. We don't want you to know that history. So they didn't teach us everything. That's what they did with the daughters of the daughters of the Confederation, of the Confederates, Confederacy. United Daughters of the Confederacy. There you go. I was looking for United. They did that. Went to the schools and changed everything around so that their kids and people in history didn't know what kind of horrible human beings they were. They did the same thing trying to take it out of schools so you won't recognize it, and that these young people can be converted back to what they used to be. They want to go back to that default. Get these young people to hate like ancestors did so that white people can rule again. Think about it. Every time they mention DEI, every time they mention anything that means you're not educated, you're not qualified, it's not something that you should do, it's a black person. CRT. Russ Vogt, the guy I told you guys about in the documentary, he literally said in an interview, I don't know who it was with, but he was saying that, the Department of Education, we have to end it. This is way before we did this, and this is before Project 2025 came. This was when he was a president, after they had lost the presidency. He was in some interview, and he said, we got to get rid of the Department of Education because as far as he's concerned, Department of Education is just a means for CRT. Not educating, not funding people who are disadvantaged, people in wheelchairs that are disabled, not helping the poor get an education so we can build up our worker base and businesses and our economy. No, not that. It's all about CRT. And what did they think CRT was? Teaching black people their own history. What is CRT? Here's the thing that kills me. We got dumbass people running our country. I mean, not just regular dumb. I'm talking about super dumb. CRT, critical race theory, had nothing to be taught in schools, but you couldn't tell them nothing like that. Why? Because their racism was showing. And anybody who believed that CRT was all about teaching black history and the truth in black history, you're racist. If you ever believed that, you had racism in your heart to make it happen. Because there's no way in hell you can type up CRT, critical race theory, and find out easily that it was only taught in colleges, lawyers, a law school, not just regular college, law school. After you finished college and went to law school, it was all about teaching other lawyers or soon to be lawyers about how cases tried by people of color, specifically black, and the same comparable crime for white people, it is consistent that black people received more time and more of a punishment than white people committing the same crime. Now that is the basics of what CRT is. I know it goes into more depth, but that right there is the basis of it, telling you that because of race, the laws work differently. Well, hell, we all know that. We don't see all kind of movies in history in our lifetime where black people in the movie, even historic movies, where they get charged for crimes way more than a white person. White person gets let go. Oh, you got probation. We've seen it in history, in real life. The young boy who raped the young girl in college. She was like a junior or something like that. He was like a freshman. He was on a swim team. He raped her by a trash can. Got her drunk. I don't know if he roofied her or whatever. Raped her by a trash can. 2 men come by, beat his ass, hold him down. Cops come, arrest him, and he gets off on probation. What did his dad do? His dad said, "Don't punish my son. He got so much of a life ahead of him." Would that have mattered if he was black? Hell no. That dude could have been Black Jesus. He still would have went to jail. But that white boy got let off from raping a white girl. And because he was on the swim team and he was a promising young white dude, that judge let him go. And it didn't go on his record. At least that's how I remember it. You can check me on that. So I'm sitting here like, that's what CRT is. And he believed that CRT, Department of Education had to close down because CRT was the main purpose of it. Some of the dumbest shit I ever heard. But our country has gotten to that point that they believe shit based off what they feel and who they associate with. They associate with these races. That's why when Democrats, black Democrats specifically, were saying that if you're MAGA, if you're that type of Republican, all of y'all racist. And people are like, oh, you can't just say all of us. Look here, bro. I don't care what you say. But if you believe in the shit they're saying, you're believing in a racist ideology. I don't care if your wife is black. I don't care if your wife is Latin. I don't care if you are. The point of the matter is these people make up lies that are racist in whole cloth. And because you're too stupid to recognize that, I'm sorry. I'm not going to step off of you being racist just because of the fact that, or believing in a racist ideology, because you can't come to the conclusion that every time they talk CRT, they're talking about black people. They don't say nothing about nobody else. You don't want to hear it, but it's true. Go look it up. I'm tired of educating stupid people. You really have to look that up. Everybody here knows that, unless you just walked into this room and you realize it's not your place. If you have an attitude of you're not trying to listen to reality, you just want to live in fantasy. So we do not assume that the institutions will save us. Many people fall into the false sense of security that the Constitution, courts, or Congress will automatically prevent a dictatorship. But history, listen to me now, history teaches us that institutions are only as strong as the people willing to defend them. Now, see, Americans don't see Democrats fighting for them. That's why their numbers are dropping down 20-some%. Those numbers dropping down is affirmation for Trump and his minions. They are excited at the fact that Democrats are not behind Democrats, because what happens to that weakens them. Everything that they want is falling into place. We have gotten into our emotions, not recognizing, and I am guilty of that. I'm no longer in that. I got to fight for what I love. I love people. I love people in this country. I love Americans, and I'm fighting for them the best way I know how, educating people about it. As American citizens, we got to stop fighting and dividing ourselves. That's how they win. I don't know if you're a Democrat, independent, or just don't want to vote at all. I haven't voted in years. You have to understand, you can't defeat this if we don't unite. You will lose democracy. As I stand here, living and breathing, you will lose democracy if you do not fight. I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit. I'm looking at history, and I'm looking at it repeat itself. Point blank period, it's moving toward a dictatorship. You'll get AOC saying, you already got, everybody's saying oligarch. We already got an oligarch. What she's saying is we already got a dictatorship. Oligarch is their buzzword. Again, this is something I don't like about politicians. It's like every last one of them got their buzzword to say oligarch, and all of them are saying oligarch. Oh, it's oligarch. Oh, fire oligarchs. Oh, dictatorship is what it is. Hello. Oligarchs is just a byproduct. Those are the ones who fund it. Okay? I'm going to keep it 100. I ain't going to fucking lie to y'all. I'm keeping it 100. And I ain't going to going around corners and shit. That ain't me. I can't stand that. I tell you like it is. 100%. I'm not going to be sugarcoating it so you feel good or feel bad. I just tell the truth. You feel how you feel with it. So history teaches us that institutions are strong as the people who were willing to defend them. Germany had laws. They had a parliament. None of it stopped Hitler. None of it. So just our Congress, our courts, or our Constitution is not going to stop this train from running the fuck over us. We got to do more than just wait on them. We can't be sitting back waiting on these people to hopefully be perfect to make it happen. What's sad enough is the Democrats do not have a game plan. They've sat here. I don't know when they became aware of Project 2025, but the reality is they had more than enough time, if Trump won, to have that book, read it, and come up with a opposite plan to defeat it. They should have a book of their own. Maybe they don't have 900 pages. They can have 400. They can have a 3-pager to tell Americans what to do and what they're doing. Work together. Defeat it. This is not a time to play partisan games. Do you love democracy or not? Do you want the rich to rule you, or do you like having life as it is? Even though there's things you like and don't like, you still love democracy and you don't want these people messing your life up? What has happened so far, even the Trumpers, I'm speaking to you, MAGAs. What has happened so far is that you've seen your brothers and sisters who have been on the front line with you, wearing 2 hats and shit, going to these rallies, spending their money, buying Donald Trump's, everything from his pee to his gold shoes, all that, gold coins, all that. You've been in that game. You guys are getting affected by this man. This man is firing you. You can see it. He's firing your own people who marched alongside you. You don't matter. You are a means to an end. If this ever falls, your life is going to be hell. Don't get it twisted. You think you're messing with the libs, you're owning the libs. Let me explain something to you. Under a dictatorship, these people are going to want rich people. There are rich as hell billionaire black people. So if your thing is with black people and Latin people and all these other people of color, they are rich. Many of them. Those people will have power. You're like middle class, poor white ass, don't. They will come before you because of money. That will buy them their quote unquote freedom or power in this country. As you can see, they're firing you, MAGA. They're letting go of your farms, MAGA. They're going to buy your farm and make it a corporate farm so that they could own farming in this country, and you will become an employee, MAGA. Have you not seen it happening already? Then you need to start watching other media, because you're not going to find it on Fox. Once you find out Fox has been fucking you this whole time by not telling you the truth, they didn't tell you about Project 2025. Oh, we did, but you guys blocked it out. And now your life is starting to be like hell for many of you, not all of you. But it's a matter of time before it reaches you. Have you not noticed they've been talking to the wealthy, not you? They got you on board to do the dirty work, while the rich people are doing their work to stay rich and get richer. Your tax cuts ain't gonna mean shit. And on top of that, trust and believe, your tax cuts won't be permanent. Did you really think they were just gonna separate you and make, do right by you? Tell me this real quick, MAGA. Do you guys have a tattoo? Or did they put some little metal piece or some shit like that, a little chip inside of you so they know which one is MAGA? No, they did. So how the hell they know whether to fire you or not? They don't know if you MAGA or not. How do they know to treat you better than the other, like a liberal? There's no way for them to know. Is your job like liberal, MAGA Central, LLC? No. So how the hell they know you're for them or against them? Your life is going to be affected, period. The economy getting worse, you guys are going to lose your farms. And think about this for a second. Had Chuck Schumer allowed the government to close down. They would have gave Donald Trump exactly what he wanted to turn this into a dictatorship like pronto. Why? Because you need a disaster to happen in order for a dictatorship to overcome any other form of government. So they're looking for a disaster. As you can see, they're trying their best to destroy America in one shape or one form or another. The economy, they're fucking with it. It goes down a lot, come up a little bit, goes back down again. They're fucking with it on purpose because they're trying to make an economic disaster. They're creating one so they can become the savior and save it. But they're only going to save it if you and this government bows down to Trump. And you're not going to bow down to Trump because you're too strong right now. He's going to wait until you have nothing. Till you and your family are damn near living under a bridge. He's going to blame the Democrats for it. And then he's going to come in and say, I can fix it. Only me. If you want it. Now, it's going to be some bad times now. We're going to pick and choose the winners and losers based on how loyal you are to me. And that's when you've lost all your freedoms. And that's when America's become Russia. That's when America's become North Korea. That's when America's become China. And those are the people that they're in love with. The ones they want to do deals with. They're having problems with the democracies. The countries that are run, that presidents that are doing right by people, at least it appears that way. Mexico, Canada, yeah, they got problems with those people. But our nemesis, our people who we hate, been fighting against forever, that want to destroy us, he's trying to chum up with them. There's a purpose for this stuff. And it's not just willy-nilly. This stuff is structured. It's a plan. If you notice the last presidency, Donald Trump was all over the place firing people. He's not doing that now. Why? Because this plan has been implemented or actually set up for years. They were just waiting to win and hit the ground running. And everything they're doing has been planned, which tells you what? Doge is a shadow organization. It really isn't doing shit. Why do you need Doge when you're already written in the book? You saw that documentary, or at least I told you guys about it. It's 9 minutes long. I think you look under Undercover Project 2025. You'll find it on YouTube. Ask yourself, Russ Vought, who's ahead of it, he wrote this. Ask yourself why he knew the Department of Education was going to be. He knew they were going to start firing people and getting rid of the bureaucracy. And he said he had an actual game plan to do it. So if he got a game plan to do it, why do we need Elon Musk or Doge? You know why you need it? Because it's his plan. All Elon Musk did was throw his Doge crap on the name of it, got the people that he needed to work, and Russ Vought just said, hit the ground running. Here's your playbook. Go for it. Ask yourself why they're having silly problems like, 8 million or 8 billion. Why are they doing that? Because that's not their real job. Who makes that big of a mistake? You only make that kind of mistake if you're not paying attention and it's not really your game plan. So it is my assumption, which is, you know what assumptions do, but based off of what I found and just trying to be logical about it, Doge is not doing anything. That is a shadow situation where Russ Vought has set up. And behind Russ Vought, again, they created the deep, why do we say deep space? they created this deep state. There's no such thing as deep state before Trump. Trump them created it way back, talking about it was a deep state destroying his administration. It was just people following the law and telling him you couldn't shoot people who were innocent people, protesters. You just can't do it. You told me I couldn't do it? Oh, that's the deep state telling me I can't do it. So they made it up. And now they're actually implementing a deep state. Everything this man is talking about, he said, we're going to build like a shadow organization underneath the government. I'm like, isn't that a deep state? The fuck are you talking about? He's really designing and has designed a deep state, telling people, I'm getting rid of the deep state. How is that? We didn't have one before. People were suckered into believing there was one. It's weird how nothing ever became of this deep state they talk about. We never found anybody in the deep state. We never found a plan from the deep state. Never found anything in the deep state. And it's also so funny, once Donald Trump left office, the deep state and QAnon disappeared. QAnon, its last message was December 8th, 2020. After Donald Trump had lost. That's the last message. Ask yourself a question. If QAnon was a person, a deep person within the government, they're saying that this person was exposing everything. So if they were working there and nobody knew who it was, and Biden came in and didn't really fire a lot of Trump's people, he left a lot of them in office. So it had to be somebody deep into the office. It couldn't be just, an assistant. It had to be somebody who was of importance of some sort. December 8th was the last message of QAnon. Donald Trump lost and was out of there. We ain't heard nothing else about QAnon. Again, tell me if you got the power of people. The power. If you had the power of telling people, putting in a message, no, this happened, and these nut jobs are all checking. It's going to be on Wednesday. It's going to be a Wednesday drop? Okay, it's a Wednesday drop. Oh, and there's riddles and shit about what's going on in the government. And these people trying to decipher it like it's a fucking decoder ring. And then they take in their orders off of some nut job on the internet, and they're going around acting like it's real. But then this person just bounces. I'm sorry. If I got that much power to make these fools jump, you think I ain't going to keep this shit running? You think I ain't going to keep on saying, go out and buy these shirts tomorrow. They're going to have a message in them. You think these people are going to stop that? Hell no. If it was somebody outside of Trump. I can still grift. Why am I going to stop the grift? That's free money. It stopped. It makes sense. Donald Trump left. The message stopped. They're on to another one. Every last one of these things is a grift. Now they're saying that, of course they say that the deep state was still there. They're getting rid of the deep state. No, they're implementing the deep state. All projection. Listen to Russ Vought speak before he became the head dude to implement Project 2025. He literally says in that interview that Donald Trump is on purpose telling people that he is not associated with Project 2025 because it has become toxic for him to talk about. But he's still down with it. It's insane, y'all. Rude, you're right. Republicans went in for the long game. This was a plan going way back. It really was. It really was. They've been trying to do stuff like this for decades. I would say at least 50 years. So the first thing is to not assume that institutions will save you. The second one, do not wait until it's too late. Dictatorships don't happen overnight. They creep in slowly. By the time it's obvious, it's too late. If you wait until mass arrests start, these are the things to look for. Mass arrest. What are they doing to these people? Mass arrest. And again, don't be fooled. Like these Trumpers who got caught up in this. They thought it was going to be the Latin people, Mexican, and people of color that was just going to be kicked out of the country. They're coming over, these immigrants, right? And therefore seeing, just like Donald Trump did the first time, took all these immigrants and threw them in cages and shit, babies and all, and then separated their babies. That was a reason. They literally took children away from their moms and dads who loved them and brought them to the country for safety. Took them, separated them, and forced them onto planes like they're doing these guys, forcing them onto planes and taking them places they don't even know where the hell they at. They don't know where the kids are. Haven't found kids yet. 1,500 of them, as of when Biden was last in office, still haven't been found. Their parents haven't found them. Their kids haven't been able to be found. Mass arrests. Those pictures. Have you seen it? I say, if you don't see that and you don't get disgusted, something wrong. Because you got to understand, it's all about doing it to the people you hate or dislike. Justifying that, normalizing that, and then doing it to you. You're not exempt. You are next. Not exempt, next. This is unconstitutional. If he can break the Constitution while you smile or feel good about it, when he breaks it the second time, even when you're pissed, it's too late because he's already gotten permission to do it before. And that makes for him to say, oh, you got a problem with it when you do it to brown people, but you got a problem. You racist. And they say, oh, now you stuck because you allowed it before. And when it happens to you, you have no out unless you say you are racist. You see how they play mind games with you. You got to fight early, fight smart, and recognize the warning signs before it's too late. We have recognized the warning signs. The rest of the world hasn't. As you can see, Democrats are still out here talking about, we should have said no. Forget Bernie Sanders. It's like, not Bernie Sanders, sorry about the Bernie Sanders, but forget Chuck Schumer. And it's like, no, don't forget Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer is the one who got it right. We got it wrong. We did not go off of history. We went off our emotions. We were pissed. I was one of them, 100%. But I ain't going to stay asleep because of my feelings. I'm waking the fuck up because of facts. Another process that we need to think about is, sorry about that, is the part of fighting back. The third thing, do not play fair while they play dirty. See, this is a disease of Democrats. I'm a lifelong Democrat. This is the disease of my party, which I'm going to leave. Not because you guys are necessarily bad. It's just because you guys are bad at promoting what you're doing even good. You take the heat and you just don't fight back. You're fighting now, but even now it's coded. It's so coded that people are still pissed. If they knew you're fighting for their actual freedoms and how far along Donald Trump has gotten to be a dictatorship and they were aware of it, they would probably turn around. But you're taking your time getting there and you're speaking in code. What are they afraid of? Nobody wants democracy to go away. Paint the picture of how democracy will look if Donald Trump wins at this. Put that out there. Put ads out there as to how your country would look. Because the moment Donald Trump starts to do things that you put an ad out, if they had got ahead of this and said, Donald Trump, and this is an ad, Donald Trump is trying to turn our country into a dictatorship. Beware if you see mass arrest for no reason. People whom haven't been proven through due process to have committed a crime, but treated worse than we treat people who are our enemies. Worse than terrorists. Had they got on the air and said that first in ads and got in front of it, the moment people started seeing it, they'd be like, oh, see, they're right. They're right. What the hell's going on? Why are you doing this? But the opposite way around, Trump gets in front of it first. And then the Democrats come along with some meek ass way of doing it. Oh, it's turning autocracy. And they let those pictures fly. They put them up, but they don't have the adjectives to describe what they're watching. What you are watching is Hitler-esque. Show the pictures of Hitler doing the same things. These people are too comfortable thinking that this is normal. It is not. So Democrats need to juxtapose this to history. That's all we have to learn from is history. Quit treating this like this is something new. This has happened time and time again. Hitler's just one. Idi Amin is another. There's so many of them that have done it. And one had just recently done it. I forgot his name, the one that Trump always hangs out with. He just recently did it. Erdogan, or some shit like that. Look him up. I think it's Hungary or some of that nature. Dictators don't play fair. They use lies, propaganda, fear, and force to control people. Snatching people up for no reason. Arresting them. Yeah. Took the guy and took him to, Louisiana or something like that from his home. Didn't tell his wife nothing. She 8 months pregnant. This type of shit for being in a protest. Just because he's mad, these people are coming. And here's the thing. These people doing this to him don't have to do it. What Donald Trump is asking them to do is unlawful. They're breaking the law on purpose, just like the Nazis did. They knew it was wrong. Many of them had all kind of horrible feelings and PTSD afterwards and shit and tried to hide in other countries. They knew what they were doing was wrong. Once that fever broke, some of them unalived themselves, just the fact that they got caught up in some shit like that. These men, maybe some women, but I've been seeing mostly men, are breaking laws. Why do you think they're wearing masks? And this is other countries. That's just the way they are. I guess that's where the thing is. But when they're picking these people up here in the United States, they're driving around in unmarked cars, following people for days before they snatch them up to see when is the best time to snatch them. Illegally. It's already started. If we insist on fighting with civility while they wage psychological and political war, we will lose. Every time that's happened in history, they've lost. This doesn't mean becoming them, but it does mean understanding the battlefield and fighting strategically. Some of the things is exposing lies, disrupting propaganda, and taking control of the narrative is critical. This is why I'm saying Democrats need to get in front of it. If you believe this to be a dictatorship or oligarch, start an ad campaign, social media campaign, hire social media people online to literally do these things. Fund it so that they can put out an information. No lies, only truths. I ain't trying to control people with lies or nothing. No, truth. Tell the people the absolute truth. These are the things that will happen next. Based on the game plan. You're going to see this, this, and this. So therefore, people have in their psyche, that ain't going to happen. And they wake up one morning, oh shit, that happened. Now you start to see it and start to believe it, as opposed to like it happening and you're just like, oh, that's weird. Doing something crazy again. And then you just wait for the next crazy to drop. See, a lot of people, because you're not losing anything, you think nothing's lost. They count on us being that ignorant. We can't be. It says you cannot fight with kindness alone against people who use deception and cruelty as weapons. Fourth thing. Do not underestimate the power of propaganda. Propaganda isn't just fake news. It's a weaponized form of mind control. Fox is a weaponized form of mind control. The narrative is critical. You cannot fight with kindness alone against people who use deception and cruelty, right? It's a dictators use it to rewrite reality, create enemies, and convince people that their suffering is someone else's fault. Donald Trump is always telling you somebody else's fault, even when he does it. And then he'll break something, then the next day fix it, and then say, look what I did. I saved it for you. Donald Trump, just, I don't know, in February, this man talked about the day or so before that he was getting rid of Black History Month. Just gonna get rid of it. And everybody's like, what the fuck? What's going on? Then the next thing you know, he's holding Black History Month at the White House. And acting like he saved Black History Month. Fool was never off the charts. It was always there. What the hell are you talking about? It's a strategy to get you to see how you respond to him tearing something down and fixing it. All they're doing is repeating shit that's already been done. The only reason people are falling for it is because they don't know their history. This man is doing exactly. Hitler did the same thing. Fuck something up, come in as a savior and fix it up, and blame the opposition. And the things that we do is we fact check. And this is what I do: aggressively expose manipulation. And don't let lies spread unchallenged. The fight for truth is a fight for freedom. Now, I understand, my content creators and people in this room, you have continued to fight this entire time. These idiots won't listen. I get it. I get it. And that's what Trump and all these MAGA people that follow him in the leadership, that's what they want, us to continue fighting one another. Because division is what gives this life. Unity kills it. Do not ignore economic warfare. Dictators don't just use police and military force, which you now see that he's trying to use military force to go to our borders. They control the economy to crush opposition. You see him controlling the economy. What Donald Trump is doing, and what most people may not be paying attention to, Donald Trump is causing a rift between the millionaires and billionaires who won't bow to him. Let me say that again. Donald Trump, I say it much slower, with these tariffs and all that, he knows it's going to destroy the country and the economy. He is doing that to fuck with the rich so that they would have to bow to him. As they lose and lose and lose, they bow to him. He pulls all that shit away. It's a form of controlling them, the rich, to fall in line with the rich who've already fallen in line. It's building an army of wealthy people that focus on money and power, and he is going to be the one who allows you to have wealth. It's multi-tiered. You have to get them in trouble with the economics in order to be able to control them. We're just a byproduct of that. But their main goal is the rich. Fuck up their money so that they come and bow to the king. Elon Musk and all them who are real close, they're already on board. That's why you don't see them getting pissed off of losing $200 million, $200 billion or whatever it is, billion. They're not pissed off about it. You're like, these people aren't upset. You would think they would be like pulling out of something, but no. They're in it for the long haul. They've already sold their soul. That being Mark Zuckerberg, that being Jeff Bezos, that being even probably the TikTok guy as well. 'Cause he's the one who came there last minute trying to keep TikTok alive. I'm sure he had to jump on board, but he's not an American. But still, he has a company in America. He sold us out to keep it open. And all the other billionaires that were behind him, they've all sold out. They've all had that meeting that we saw with those rich people, supposed in the interview, that were really reporters. Every last one of those billionaires had that conversation with Donald Trump and agreed to it and gave him money. Bill Gates is another. Think about it. Why would you be interviewing these supposed rich people and not the ones you know for damn sure, popular rich people? And they're giving you money when some of them profess to be liberal to some degree in their life? Yeah, you got to understand it. Dictators, like I said, don't use the police. They control the economic. They try to crush the opposition. They buy media, defund opposition movements, and starve out communities that resist. So what are we learning from this? Support independent media like mine, like other people who are actually out there. I'm pretty much like breaking down some of these people's media to make sure that everybody stay on facts. But you got Roland Martin, you got Don Lemon, man, just to bring out a name of few. You know what's out there. Of course, the people who are my cohorts that I hang out with. And so you got to actually go to these people and support them, because independent media is what's going to fight. As you noticed earlier on, ABC capitulated with George Stephanopoulos. They ended up settling out of court because Trump put pressure on them. They've already told us that if Trump put pressure on them, they won't report the news properly because they don't want to get a lawsuit. That's what they're trying to do. And by doing so, that was a precedent that was set for these other media companies. You fall in line or we're going to sue you just like ABC. And we're going to win because we already got a precedent of winning. That's why ABC should have fought that, because they would have won it easily. But no, didn't. Therefore, opened the door for everybody else to get sued. Therefore, winning the mainstream media control. They will not, like I said before, you won't see a liberal on those stations that are literally fighting. The far right has always on there. The far left, you never see. You never see a far left pundit. I don't know of one. Who's a far left pundit? They're never on the news. They're demonized, but it's crazy how they don't have a leader that you don't know of. It's crazy. But they got all kinds of Republican far right people always on the news. Scott Jennings, one of them, got a job doing it. And starve out communities that resist. So we look at what we need to do. Like I said, support independent media, fund grassroots movements. If you got a movement, please let people know in the comments section so people can support you. It's going to take a lot of us, not just one of us. It's going to take most of us fighting for what we believe in. It doesn't have to be that you all believe in, like, we got to get the same thing in this program and healthcare for all. No, you believe in a democracy. So fight for what you want in a democracy. And get those people together to fight for that in a democracy. No matter what party you're in, because you're fighting for your lives. Dictatorship, your life can change in a heartbeat. You say something wrong under a dictatorship, somebody's going to show at your door. People don't understand the freedoms they lose under a dictatorship. And that's what this man is trying to do. And I don't get why we are not, like, this is a 5-alarm fire. We're just going along business as usual. It's not business as usual. And build self-sustaining economic networks that don't rely on systems controlled by the dictator. This expression is Trump and his allies. We're going to get into that a little bit, a little detail about that. All right. Number 6, do not let fear paralyze you. What I'm doing here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to make you afraid at all. I'm trying to make you fight. Not afraid. I want you to fight. Be aware and fight. Like, see, for instance, and it's not specific to black people. I'm just black. Black people know what we got going on. We're not afraid of anybody, so to speak. When we go out, we just know we got to learn how to fight differently to come back home. Whether we fight with our tongue or with our fist or whatever, then we got to, whatever type of weapon we got to use. But we're not afraid. We're fighting every way we know how. And that's what everybody's got to do now. Fight for everything. Fight for democracy like it's your child. Because without it, your kids don't have a future worth a damn. The American dream goes away completely. The idea of people saying, oh, it's kind of far away and you complain about it, it's still possible. Within a dictatorship, you might as well get rid of the idea of having a dream or American dream or telling your kids they can be something. Under a dictatorship, they tell your child what he or she is going to be. If your kids say, I want to be a business owner, under a dictatorship, they cannot be one. Depending on the type of dictatorship. Most dictatorships is like, if, and not all of them, but most of them have been like, if your father or the child's father was a carpenter, so was his son. If your mother was a nurse and you're a woman, you were a nurse. Your freedoms go away. This is not for play. This shit's straight real. And you need to treat it as such. Do not let fear paralyze you. Dictators thrive on fear and hopelessness. I know I was feeling hopeless. I wasn't so much fearful, but I was hopeless. And that's why you saw me stop making videos for a minute. I'm like, Trump whispered, translating stupid, just wasn't feeling the same. Because it's like I felt hopeless. I'm like, we can't win. But even then, I felt sick to my stomach, but I didn't. I knew that it was seeming like a dictatorship, but I wasn't like hardcore, which I should have been. I should have went with my feelings about it, but I needed more data to figure it out. I finally did, but hopefully it's not too late. They want you to feel like resistance is useless. That's what I felt like. So you give up before the fight even begins. They want you to think your voice doesn't matter. So you hear me, so many Americans that didn't vote. That's what they believe. My voice doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. How do you feel now, people who didn't vote? Does your voice matter? Because if you had opened your mouth and voted, this man wouldn't be in office. So I know we had what? I don't know how many hundreds of millions this time that we had. But there's no reason that every American citizen who can vote is not voting in this next election. There is no reason you should not be voting. And we need to start some kind of campaign to say it is your duty to get out and vote and save democracy. If you do not, that means you don't want it, because this man's trying to take it away from you and your children. You think you don't matter now, wait until the rich are the only people they care about. The only ones they make plans for. And the only ones who don't pay taxes ever again. It'll just be us supporting the country while they take the majority of our money and keep it. These are the things that they want, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to make a decision on what you want. Never give up. Never stop fighting. Never let them silence you. Fear is their weapon, but courage is yours. Courage is ours. We defeat them with courage, to fight them. And I'll give you some ideas on how to fight, what we need to do here in a minute too. 7, do not fall for divide and conquer tactics. I fell for it. I'm pretty sure all of us kind of fell for it. We can't do it anymore. The divide and conquer, for the most part, is we felt so bad, especially black people who voted to get this fool out. And now we feeling like, you know, it's hopeless for one, because these people ain't listening. They didn't listen to us talk about it for years. They ignored it. They act like we didn't know what we was talking about. Now that we do know what we're talking about, so many people are going through it and they're still Trump voters, and we're pissed off and not realizing that we're dividing ourselves with these people. And not that they're going to ever come to their senses, but we're dividing ourselves with these people and looking as though we don't care. We care about democracy. And democracy is all about having differences of opinions, but not destroying the country in the way we believe. You can believe what you want, say what you want. There are laws inside that literally say, you know, you got to have responsibility for your actions. They're getting rid of those laws. So these people are going to be able to do what they want to do to you with impunity. Now, you guys saw how they rescinded the law or act or whatever it was. I think it was a law. Oh, yeah, it had to be a law of segregated things in this country. At this particular moment, and I don't know if it's got to go through court, I'm sure, but they rescinded it, being Trump and them, that if it was their way, as of today, black people and white people, if they decided it in any state, could have different water fountains for us again. Now, why would somebody even go and touch that rule or that law if you weren't trying to pull off some racist bullshit? I mean, again, why would that even be, again, why would that even be on your like to-do list? Out of all this, trying to help the economy, our trying to get the taxes, trying to, you know, reduce the deficit, pay off our debt, national debt, all the different things that are big issues, they're out here allowing states now. This is a priority of theirs to say, you can bring back coloreds only bathrooms again. Who would be thinking of that shit? Racist. And if you're not alarmed by that, then welcome to racism. Welcome to being a racist. Because that law was needed for people of color to be treated fairly. Latin people too. Mexicans and dogs got to eat in the same place or some shit. No Mexicans, no dogs, no this. They can do that now without having any federal, anything held against them federally. I mean, statewide, you may have a problem, but federally, you do not. Based off of what Donald Trump just did. It's not racist, but you're taking away fundamental laws that told people you can't be racist toward people. You're getting rid of it? And it's a priority. Egg prices are going up. Some of it went down certain places. You got gas prices going up. You got tariffs hitting and things are going to cost more. And this man is literally working on trying to stop something that was to stop people from being racist toward other people. He's not racist, right? Then what the hell is that? And then they got one of the oldest tricks, do not fall for the divide and conquer, is to turn people against one another, splitting the opposition into smaller, weaker groups that can't unite against them. Trump is using this playbook just like Hitler did. Divide people, split them into sections, so we're weaker as a people. At this point in time, we're not Americans. We're this type of American, and this person, and we're Mexicans, we're Asians, we're this, we're that. We're not Americans. We're not united on the fact that we're Americans. We have to set aside, or not even just set aside, but we have to work harder. Of course, you may be Mexican or black, and you may have groups that are helping your people out, which you got to continue doing. But at the same time, you got to work on an American plan too. We're Americans in this country. And we may be of other nationalities or may have different races or whatever it may be. But we are Americans. And we got to fight for that like we're fighting for everything else. Like we're fighting for rights for, if you're a trans person, you're fighting for your trans rights. Black people are fighting for equality. You know, all those things. We really got to fight for America just like we're fighting for our own liberties to be treated fairly in this country. And that is inclusive of all of us as being Americans. That's how we fight these things off, is being able to come together and say we want to save America from a dictatorship. We want to save the democracy. As you'll see, I have on some of my videos, I sell merch that says, democracy matters. We have to really make it a point that we not only say that, we see that, things of that nature, because again, what's in our minds, what we say is actually who we become. They're telling you that vision matters. The vision matters. I'm telling you, democracy matters. That's why I'm asking people about whether they like a democracy or not. Because if you do, then you should know that you're not really going to be living in one. And right now, you're living in a bastardized version of it, to be honest. The lesson to be learned: stay focused on the real enemy. Don't waste energy fighting amongst allies when the true fight is against dictatorship. So the fight that we have against each other, racist people and people who are messing up and Trumpers and all this stuff like that, we got to ignore the fact that they're Trumpers. We got to ignore the fact that these, whatever, these minions, whatever the hell it is, we have to look at it as an American thing and say, dude, squash all that Republican, Democrat bullshit. Are you an American? So yeah, then do you want America to look right for you? I mean, like, we can continue fighting this way, or do you want a rich man to be able to tell you who your kid can date and marry and be all that and come and unalive you? Go watch a Dictator movie and look at how each dictator has come to rise and match that shit up to what you see Trump doing. Don't listen to me. Go watch one. I guarantee you're going to see the exact same shit. Take over the media. Make it fake news. Call people enemy of the state. It's the playbook for all of them. So we got to wake them up some way, somehow. Number 8, do not wait for a savior. We ain't going to have no saviors. Ain't nobody be here I come to save the day. Nobody's doing that. All of us are going to have to fight. No single leader, politician, or party will save us. Many people thought someone would stop Hitler. So they sat around waiting for it. Their laws and parliament was going to fix it. No one ever came. And all of these ones where they've fallen, no one ever did. Trump's rise is no different. If you don't stop him, no one else will. The MAGA party are falling to its wayside. Traditional Republicans are falling. Many of them quit. They decided not to fight for their country, to quit. They saw what this man was trying to do. Why didn't they stay in that party and just fight? So what if they got primary? They were going to leave anyway. So why not fight? Nope. They just don't want to be associated with it. Similar to people who say, I'm not racist, but their friends are. Silence is complicit. These Republicans who just bow down gracefully, silence is complicit. You didn't have a fight for your people, American people. You left. You didn't fight for them. You left. You quit. We can't do that. There's the people, we the people, not a single hero must rise up. It's we the people that must rise up. The only ones who will save our democracy is us. Nobody's coming to save our day. Other countries are laughing at us. That don't like us, they're having a ball with this shit. America, the great democracy. I thought they was great. Look at them. Fall the fuck apart. Can't take care of their own house. And the Democrats and independents and everybody that's just letting it happen. These fools out here, the Republicans, he's a once-in-a-lifetime type of Republican. We'll never have another one. Yeah, a dictator. We'll never have another one. Hopefully we won't ever have this one, for the whole 4 years. Maybe God to come up with something. You know what I mean? Pray to God to take him away somehow. But other than that, we got this fool. Now, how do we get back? Thank you, 1BC, BWC. I see you. We're going to get to that too. How to fight back without becoming them. I wanted to know more detail, like what we can do. And compare it to other times in history where they did something that was effective to either destroy a democracy or to stop it from happening. Most of them never got stopped from happening. It just happened. But there was ways to destroy it once it had happened, and it's a tough one, but we're going to talk about it. Fighting back without becoming what we despise is not only possible, it's necessary for real victory. Dictators thrive on chaos, lies, and violence. So our resistance must be strategic, relentless, and fact-based, while still using the most effective tactics from history. Learn from your history, or you'll repeat it. Now, in a situation of this, we're going to learn from our history so that we can repeat the destruction of a dictatorship. You got to look at the past and what worked. We are dealing with a play-by-play reenactment of the rise of Hitler. So our response must be a mix of historical lessons and new and innovative strategies that hit hard but stay true to justice and democracy. First thing, the power of nonviolence. Now, this is proven by history. I'm going to give you an example of Hitler. In Nazi Germany, everyday workers sabotaged Hitler's war machine by working slower, making mistakes, and pretending to be incompetent. It was nonviolent resistance that actively weakened his power. How would we use this today? Well, this is where I come in talking about the Democrats are doing the right thing in one way, and that is legal system. The lawyers, the clerks, the government officials should follow procedures to the letter, dragging out Trumpism efforts in bureaucratic knots. In other words, drag on everything he's trying to do, keep it in the courts forever so they'll never be done. Keep these things in the court for like 4 years if you can. They'll never be accomplished, right? Now, some of these things are shadow things that they don't care about. But these politicians should do their homework and find out what tenets need to be in place in order for a dictatorship to take hold and thrive. And those are the bills and things they should be fighting that are fundamental to our Constitution and laws. So, or keeping our fundamentals, our constitutional laws intact. Now, that's what the Dems are doing. That's not something that we can do. Now, workplace resistance. Workers in Trump-supported businesses. Any of the businesses that Trump works in, or people who work for Trump. Now, these people are going to probably be MAGA, so it may not work for this situation. They probably thought this through. Or government positions can slow down operations, delay approvals, and ensure inefficiency in any authoritarian action. So if they see something that's like an authoritarian action, take your time doing it. Everything that becomes slower will piss him off and get him off his game, will piss his team off and get him off their game. Think about how Stephen Miller came out and was going up against the judge because what they need to get done. One of the things that these people have a tell, there are a lot of things in court right now. A lot of things that the Democrats have their lawyers and their teams working on in court right now. And watchdog organizations. The only ones that are hindering their operation are the ones they're pissed off at. They've got hundreds of them going right now. But the ones in which the hit dog hollers, pay attention. Whatever his pundits come out and bitch about the most, that is what they need to move forward on their next plan. Focus on that. And when we start to see that, start to implement your plan on that. So if it's like, again, the courts and things are something else, but if it's like that has to deal with corporations, stop shopping there, do whatever. That's going to be another thing that like BWC was talking about. We're going to focus on in a second. So slowing down the operations. Anybody working for the government, anything that he asks that is kind of whatever, put a delay on that shit, lose it. I don't care what it is. They have to give you another one. Oh, I forgot. Oh, whatever. Whatever you can do legally to slow it down, do it. Make sure that they are not working on all cylinders. I don't care if you work in the department where Doge is at, cut off their electricity to that bitch. I don't care. Do whatever you got to do to shut the shit down. Slow it down. Therefore, they'll get pissed and lose their place and start back over again. Or them having problems with it will slow them down, at least until you can have court cases and things of that nature to fully shut it down, if possible. Economic sabotage. This is what BWC is talking, or one BWC is talking about. Economic sabotage. This is our wheelhouse, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we can be most effective. If a company funds Trump or his allies, create deliberate inefficiencies, errors in their logistics, delays in shipment, miscommunication in orders. Why this works. Dictators rely on efficiency and obedience. If enough people create chaos within the system, it slows them down, weakens their grip, and buys us time for the Democrats to be able to get these things under control and lawsuits. So we got to slow down the process. See, what they've been doing is like in a matter of days doing shit. You'd be like, how the fuck are they accomplish that in days? Because they've had a plan to hit the ground running. But things that slow them up, you hear them pissed off about. We got to figure out ways to slow them up. One is the money in which they need to do it. You know they got a billionaire doing stuff like that. Cool. Americans, not Democrats, not Republicans, not independents, Americans. We have to look at it this way. Any organization that has funded or continues to fund Donald Trump, stop buying it. Not for a day, not for a month. Vow that it is over. You have sold out the American people for $1, and I ain't giving you no money that you're going to fuck my life up with. I'd be damned if I give you money to fuck my life up. Give me some entertainment on some TV or whatever for a minute, watching a program, and while I'm watching it, that same person is funding that I end up broke? No. That I end up homeless? No. That I end up being under a dictatorship rule? No. That's not going to happen. So I'll give you some things to actually look up. We might as well get to that next. Let me go down a little bit. I had to look up organizations that have funded Donald Trump, and it's going to be a trip. Y'all going to see some of it that we can do. Some things you've already bought, you don't got to return, but I'm not buying any more from these particular organizations because I'm going to let you know who donated to Donald Trump. Major corporations who donated to Donald Trump's inauguration. These are the people who are behind what he's doing. They're funding it. And not saying that you got to not use it. Just don't, you already got it. Don't update it. Don't get another one. And the thing is, it's kind of hard for some of them because all of us have it. But Amazon, they donated $1 million and offered to stream the inauguration on Amazon Prime. We've got to destroy Amazon. I'm sorry. I know it's one of you guys what you love. Which one do you like better, Amazon or democracy? You got to make that choice for yourself. I'm doing my best to break away from Amazon, and I'm going to move away from that. I'm going to have to cancel my Amazon. I just came up with this today. I'm canceling my Amazon, get rid of it. Meta, Facebook, contributed also $1 million. Formerly Facebook. That's gone. I'm getting rid of that. And I have it like as a sub account. I don't even really go on it that much, but I'm going to have to get rid of it. Tell everybody to meet me somewhere else like on Substack or something until I find out they mess around too. I don't know yet. This is just a small amount of people that I know right now. Apple. Tim Cook is kind of messed up because Apple is our phones and different things like that. I'm not buying anything Apple. It's a wrap. I ain't buying no phone. I ain't buying nothing. I'm done. Again, until this dictatorship is over, you ain't getting shit from me, Apple. Not a damn thing. My phone just got to ride it out. Because if it don't ride it out these next 4 years, I promise you I'm going to get something else. And here's the other problem. Alphabet. Alphabet is the Google's parent company. So, yeah, not buying anything from Google. Not so much as an ad. When this phone is done, not even a Google phone. I ain't doing shit with Google. It's a wrap. I got to find another company. I know there's a black-owned phone company called Figures or something like that. I got to find something else if this dies. I ain't fucking with Google. Microsoft and Adobe each gave $1 million. Microsoft is a wrap. Adobe is a wrap. I ain't buying shit from you. Not a damn thing. I got products from you because I use it. But that's a wrap. I ain't buying it from you. My computers, I don't even have I do have they have it has a Windows on it, but this is stuff that was bought a while back ago. When they go out, if this dictatorship I'm not buying it. Find some other place to do it. We got to figure out a way to put a chokehold on these people because they're the ones funding it. Without the money, this is what Donald Trump is doing. I told you. What Donald Trump did is continue to do with these tariffs is he's fucking with these corporations and saying, bow to my will. I'm going to tell the only place he can do it to is China, China. Well, China, Mexico, and Canada. It's the only places that he can really do it to. And he's doing it mostly to Canada and our neighbors. And that's why people are like, wait a minute, you're doing it to our neighbors? What the hell? They've always been with us. So it's been Canada and Mexico. Well, they know they do a lot of business in Canada and Mexico. If I make it so their bottom line gets messed up and these corporations get so pissed, now you got to bow to me. Well, two can play that. Corporations, he may have you bow, but if we ain't buying shit from you, you bowing for no reason. You're going to either bow to him or you're going to bow to the hundreds of millions of us. Got your choice. That's what we need to start doing. Get that leverage. That's just in the tech industry, automobile industry, Ford and General Motors, a wrap. Not buying shit from y'all. Ford, General Motors, Toyota, out of here. Out. Don't buy shit from Toyota, Ford, or General Motors. Energy sector, Chevron. Don't buy gas with Chevron. Fuck Chevron. Telecommunications, AT&T, Comcast, and Charter Communications. All three of those gave $1 million. Get rid of them. I don't care what we got to do. Get rid of them. Healthcare, pharma, and Pfizer. I know that people's drugs are made from and things you can't get around. But if it's something you don't need, and if you got stock in them, sell them. Get rid of them. This is all Americans, not Democrats, Republicans, Americans. If you don't want a dictatorship, you need to put a stranglehold on these people like Donald Trump is. And if you don't, you're going to lose. 100%. Manufacturing, Boeing and Lockheed Martin. I don't know what we can do to them because we don't buy anything from them I know of, but if they have anything, I don't care if they sell merch, don't ever buy another damn thing from them. Okay? Other notables, Uber. Shit, I got to get rid of Uber. I use that all the time. I got to find the other one. So Uber's done. It's a wrap, Uber. And McDonald's. Not fucking with McDonald's. It's a wrap with you. Elon Musk. I ain't bought shit from him to begin with, and I ain't about to start. Miriam Adelson. She works. She's the owner of Las Vegas Sands. Do not go to the Sands ever again until this shit gets changed or whatever. If you like the Sands, then you do what you got to do. But no more Sands. They're out of here. An Australian business person, it's called Pratt Industries. I don't know what he has in this country. He just had a PAC or something like that. Make America Again Super PAC. Deciding to boycott or whatever. I'm trying to see if this person says it's essential to verify. Okay. So those are just some of those who actually supported Donald Trump. I got a video, let's see if I can get the link to this. Let me open up and maybe loud. Sorry about that, but let me turn this down real quick. Okay, it took me a minute to get this thing together. It's kind of, I don't want to use their music because I know they'll knock me off, but I'm trying to get the actual link for it that I can share it and so that we could be able to have it. Give me just one more second. It shouldn't come on, but if it does.
Need your help. Please tell Congress to outlaw them now. Thank you.
Okay, I got it back. I got it back now. Sorry about that. Here is the link. I'm about to put it in. It took me a minute to get this. Here's the link right here to 228 companies that donated to Donald Trump. That's it right there. Hopefully that's it. Let me know if you see it. It said it was it. But those are the 228 companies. You see something in there that you deal with, don't deal with them no more. This is the way we're able to fight back and have an effective of way to get them to stop. They ran to these guys and women to destroy America, and it's up to us to stop it. If we don't, we are part of the problem, 100%. A 100% a part of the problem. Let me look at the other things that we have here. The economic. This is strategic economic warfare. This is what brought apartheid down. South America, we're going to do a South Africa. This is an example from South Africa. The boycotts and economic isolation of apartheid, South Africa, forced the racist government to collapse because their economy was bleeding out. How we would use this today, and this is what we were trying to talk about. Instead of just boycotting everything, which spreads resources thin, focus on strategic industries, especially those funding Trumpists, which we just mentioned. Also, let's say, for instance, if you see on that list, to say you have to subscribe to it to save it. Oh, sorry. You can, once you save it, unsubscribe. Whatever it is, you have to do what you got to do. All right. An example is if a bank funds Trump or GOP extremists, move your money to a different bank. Start to have a mass exodus of these particular organizations to be able to do that. And if anybody wants to organize that, and I have no problem, creating a list, but I'm gonna need help. Another example of a major brand funds propaganda, create a viral campaign to expose them and kill their sales. So we also need to be vigilant in the situation of watch Fox, right? And if you're watching Fox, which is the propaganda, any of them that are doing this propaganda, end up having a campaign in which, whoever wants to start that, we should start to kind of like fund that, give them money to be able to run ads that are literally using Fox in all of their lies and having a campaign that we continue to run, by the people, for the people, continue to run these ads and make placements to say, this is what's happening. Focus on what's happening. This major brand is supporting Fox, which is, this propaganda station that lies, and then have examples of their lies over and over again. The 780-something million for lying. All the way for decades, this organization has been lying. The people have to fight this, not just the government, because, again, people have their sides. This is going to have to be an American fight, not just a politician fight. We got to starve them of funding. So if we get these corporations, identify which corporations, not only just corporations, lobbyists, and different people who are donors. I mean, Madeline that I mentioned a few minutes ago, the billionaire, whatever she's interested in. I don't care what we find out what her business and where she makes most of her money. Dump the stock from them, and find other places to put them in that are comparable, but dump the stocks from her and go somewhere else. We have to have a concerted effort for doing things of this nature, and multiple factions doing it, not just one. But we can all kind of like come together and say, like, this is what we want to do. You got to keep this. All this keeps Donald Trump's movement alive and hit him where it hurts, right? And where does it hurt Donald Trump? We all know, money. We got to take that money away, because they need, as a dictatorship, you need the capital. That's the only way you're going to make it happen. If you choke off their economic support system, they crumble from within. I can't wait to see if we do this right. They're going to fall apart and fall apart hard. They're going to be so much infighting, him trying to get them to do something they can't do because the funds aren't there. I don't know. We got to figure out something. And working with Democrats as well, and independents, not just, and Republicans who aren't batshit crazy. Got to get us all together. Targeting propaganda with counter programming. This is how anti-Nazis fought Hitler. The White Rose movement and the BBC Resistance Radio fought Hitler's propaganda machine by smuggling facts to the public. They printed secret pamphlets and used humor to undermine Nazi lies. How do we do this today? We disrupt misinformation with strategic humor. Laughter gets people all the time, right? And lets them watch it. So we can make, create some satire like memes, short videos, viral content that exposes Trump's tactics in a funny but brutal way. It's kind of like, what's that project? The Lincoln Project. It's kind of like that. We need to create that like the people creating it on social media, creating your own content of actually making fun of the shit that he's doing and making it seem like it's played out. Dude's trying to be Hitler, stuff of that nature. Hijack their own media spaces. If MAGA influencers have open comment sections, infiltrate those comment sections and flood them with irrefutable facts and receipts. We got to have our own machine that is going to be doing this to them like they did it to us. You know what I mean? Constantly reporting them, constantly putting in their comment section back to back real facts as opposed to the BS that they're talking about. Kind of give them no space to be able to talk about the shit they're saying and try to keep it going. Tell the truth about it. And that's where, you start to take the power out of it for them. See, they're powerful because every time they post something, 3 million people are fucking like it. We need to go in there and be 3 million people that destroy it. Say, this is terrible, this is that, fact. We don't have to call them names, just put facts out and have it irrefutable. If Trumpers use like Telegram, Truth Social, Rumble, whatever, we need to infiltrate those with certain types of teams and challenge the narratives from the inside. One of the things that I kind of thought about that we could implement with these people is being able to troll them in a different way. In that meaning, they listen to their own MAGA nuts, right? So creating pages that are mostly, like MAGA something, and then literally putting all facts and not saying anything about, that you're not MAGA. Creating those type of accounts to get into their minds to say, look, these are the facts. Because you got to open their minds up. They see a Democrat and they automatically don't want to listen to it. We have to be able to find a way to get them to look at things and learn the truth. Not lies, just the truth. Compare them. Have like Donald Trump say something, then show exactly what Donald Trump did. Juxtapose it. And then say that. And you didn't necessarily got to be MAGA. You just got to be non-partisan. You feel me? So that's a strategy. Don't have to pull that one, but at least they need to have something that brings them the facts, so that they'll listen to it. Maybe they'll listen if you're just not, just not super against MAGA. They won't listen to me, so that's got to be somebody else's structure. But those are just ideas. You don't have to do them. Create shareable, like viral fact bombs, meaning like short TikToks, things that are 15, 20 seconds, kind of like what I do with telling about, straight facts or whatever it may be, or quick question, asking people questions, or you can say quick facts, this, and compare it, and that's done. Things of that nature. So we really want to kind of get that out there and have a narrative on how to win against the propaganda. Because there's nobody fighting propaganda. We're literally just on the news talking about things like it's normal again. It's not normal. There's propaganda living on every damn station just about. Even on CNN, they got Scott Jennings and a few other, the one black guy, I can't remember his name, Charles or something, not Charles, but I forgot his name. He's always on there spreading nonsense. And you're sitting there like, you got so many of these people with voices on this far right shit that's willing to ignore what Donald Trump is saying and saying, let's see if it'll work. It might work. No, dictatorship's not working, bro. Just because you blind to it don't mean we are, right? So we got to get in there and start doing that. There's so many different things. I'm going to make a video about the other things that are going on. I've given you a lot, so I'm kind of shut this down a little bit. But we need to focus on strategies. We can no longer just sit around and just wait for this shit just to have the Democrats do it. They can't. We have to admit and understand Democrats can't do this alone. Independents can't do this alone. This is an American issue. We got to save democracy as Americans. And if you don't want a democracy, then sit around and wait for this shit to turn into a dictatorship. And once it does, I don't want to hear your mouths when life turns horrible for you. Just like right now, when black people, you see on most of the people on social media, you know, going off on whatever culture that voted for Trump and now their life is a shit show. They're either laughing at them or they're, you know, cooking food or eating popcorn and, you know, like, must suck for you. It's going to suck for all Americans. That was fun for a minute to see. But right now, we got to coalesce, come together in some way, shape, or form. Not with the nut jobs, not them, but with the ones who love America and just misguided. Those are the only ones that are going to open their minds anyway. The other nut jobs, I ain't talking about them. Do what you got to do. But we have to come together on that tip. Because if we don't, we're going to lose democracy, and every one of us loses because of that. Every day this man wakes up and he has energy to destroy America because he's craved power his entire life. People make fun of him because he literally is somebody who's disabled. You got to know that Donald Trump has mental issues and has had them since he was a kid. He's not bright. Not at all. What he is maniacal. He is evil. If you want to say he's an evil genius, I give you that. But the reality is this. If we don't defeat him and he wins, all of our lives are fucked. Not just the ones who voted for him and got suckered. All of us. So it's going to take all of us to win. All right, let me see what we got. Isaac Hayes' son owns fan base. Yes, he does. He does. He didn't donate, though, did he? Firefox, Mozilla. Yeah, I got Firefox, too. I use Firefox often. I have to deal with like it for work. It sucks, right, Roger? I understand. I mean, if there's things you can't do, that's fine. Not everybody's going to be able to do it, but there are things you can do. Cloud at the end of this year, meaning all your computer files will be online, most likely data collected. Yeah, I ain't messing with it. Whatever I got is what I got. I got a computer I'm a tech guy, so I've got a computer I had, a PC I had for since my kids were babies, and my kids are both in their 20s now. You know what I mean? So I got like a 20-year-old computer that runs like a brand new one because I keep it fine-tuned like people keep their cars, you know what I'm saying? But and I keep it only connected to the internet for so long, I don't do any updates, none of that old update stuff. So what it was 20 years ago, well, the operating system is a newer operating system, but everything else in it is older. DuckDuckGo, they are a search engine and internet like Google. Yeah, DuckDuckGo is usually what the conservatives use. A lot of them, I ain't saying it's all conservatives, but that's what they got their information from, they said. Whenever I told them to fact check me, oh, you're Googling. I'm like, yeah, what do you do? DuckDuckGo? I'm like, it's a search engine, bro. What's the big deal? Well, it's hidden. The fuck if it's hidden? Is it factual? That's the point. You all secretive, always trying to hide shit. Like, what the fuck is that about? I get you want to get away from the government, but Do you know if the shit is real or not? Is it the same as others? Did you compare them with other ones like Safari? See if it's factual? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is. It's just data. To correct the imbalance, we must boost our vote like we do, like they do. Right state elections departments challenging MAGA's address. Remove their vote. Spread the word in their games. Much love. You're right. BWC. I choose democracy over crapazon. Yeah, big time. I do too, Roger. I get you, Save Wit. I plan to make a web page that keep up to date with businesses, DEI. Well, let us know what that web page is once you get it, Save Wit. Dead Bent 99. Maybe we should all together walk into HR and change your tax status to exempt until the government starts doing the job we are paying for. Dead Bent, whatever is legal, I have no problem with. If that's a possibility, if Democrats say that that's a possibility, if lawyers say that's a possibility, starve them of their money, whatever it may be. But it has to be an effective thing. But I don't know if that is legal or not, so we got to look that up. One thing we don't want to do is lose credibility like really quick. People will be like, oh, they did some stupid stuff and I wouldn't join that or be a part of that. So, and I ain't saying that's stupid. I'm saying that it sounds like it's a good idea. I don't know what the laws are. I had to research that. It's a fact, so I ain't gonna put out there nothing that I don't know. They are not racist, but they voted for racist, right, Rochelle? Like I said, but for me, it's like, what's the difference? It's kind of worse. If you know somebody, I don't know, and I can't say, again, I voted for Kamala. I don't know if there are racists who just aren't like racist against some other culture or whatever it may be, racist, whatever. I don't know if there was a racist that voted for Kamala Harris. It could have been. That means I voted alongside of a racist too. Highly doubt it, but hey, I don't know. So, but the point is, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And again, it doesn't matter, it's voting for the policies. Her policies weren't racist. Donald Trump's was. So if you're voting alongside somebody who has racist ideologies and racist policies, you might be a racist. If Kamala Harris made racist policies and said things that are racist and sexist or whatever, I wouldn't be voting for her. I would have voted for her independent because that's one of my core values. If you're not a decent human being or even presenting as one when I'm voting, why would I vote for you? Ain't nothing you're going to say that you're going to say that's truthful at all, that you're going to back it up. Everywhere else you are your land or ancestors, right? Save Wit. Was it Earthkeeper? The reason is pretty clear. It's divisional amongst being racist. Yeah. Is it Morelli 92? They don't act like they are worried about elections at all. That's true. Is it Mariella? Morelli. That's the problem too. They don't act like they're even worried about elections. And on top of that, Steve Bannon, I forgot what he was on. Sean Hannity, maybe? I don't know what he was on. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Sean Hannity. He was on Steve Cuomo. And Cuomo asked him, he said something about, Steve Bannon said, I'm working for the campaign in 2028 for Trump. And I was like, again, he's putting out there. That's what they do. Put it out there for people to say yay or nay. Then they monitor that show to see how the ratings went. Then they go into data and start asking people, would you want this? And that's the strategy. You end up putting it out there. If it's stupid and don't work, they leave it alone. If it starts to work amongst people, they start to infiltrate and put it on all kinds of podcasts and put it out. That's another thing we need to do. Podcasts, we need to share them. We need to tell people. We need to, if there's something that you want them to get out to say, you need to say like, oh, at 16 minutes and 35 seconds, listen to this, put it out there, because that's what they do. They usurped all of the media and went straight to podcasts and started spreading all this nonsense. And they reached everybody within a certain group that they wanted. White men who feel like they're losing power. They promote it to them non-stop. And because they were easy targets to take their money, you saw all kinds of podcasts coming out of that. Men who didn't like women and men who treated women disrespectfully. They had that same lean on their podcast. Because how it's easier to grift. It's easier to give you money when you're telling people what they already feel, as opposed to telling them what the truth is. Had they told them, like, you're just losers trying to find a way to find each other, but the shit y'all saying is nonsense, that shit wouldn't have worked. If that's what most people had said to them. But no, they found their audience, people who felt like they were not listened to. And they got that. And they made millions off of that stuff. That's why, again, these people don't act like they have another election, because they really don't. They're trying to head toward a dictatorship. That's why you see these senators, and congressmen and women, people in office, whatever position in government, that are going out to these town halls that are Republicans. They're just nonchalant. Oh, I believe in Elon Musk. Everybody's like, boo, whatever. I believe in Elon Musk. Then they look at y'all and laugh. Like, what y'all gonna do? You guys don't even know. This is the way they act. You guys don't even know. The one y'all just voted on, that's the last election you're gonna ever have to vote on. I'm gonna be your senator forever. Forever, ever. Till I die. That's what I'm planning. You guys can talk all the shit you want, but you will bend to my power in about, I don't know how many months. See how long it take Trump to get this thing rolling. That's why they aren't speaking up on any of the things that he's doing egregious. And the ones who are speaking up, they're supporting it. When you see batshit crazy and somebody supports it, you need to worry. And you need to fight back. And that's what I do. I hope Tesla goes under too. I don't own any stock from Tesla. AliExpress, I don't know whether they're a part of it or not. Temu, you gotta look at that website that I just gave you, a YouTube channel thing. I can't validate everything he says in there because I just downloaded it because I wanted to find other companies. So please, please, please do your homework, because some of those companies, I don't know when that was recorded, some of those companies may have turned and flipped. So please do your homework. If you receive that list, and check and see the one that is on the video, because I didn't get a chance to check that out. See if they've flipped. And if they have, then I understand. You don't have to do that. But I'm gonna check out that list and write it down. I might put it in an email and send it out to people. So if you are on my Substack, mrstraightfacts.substack.com, either there. If you are on on my Blue Sky, any of the other platforms that I'm on, if you're there, you'll be able to see it. I'm gonna end up putting that stuff out there. I have to go through all these companies and start letting them go. And I've got accounts for stuff like Google is YouTube, you know what I'm saying? So these types of things I can't let go, because that's the only way I'm out there. I don't know of any other platform to be able to do that. But I won't be buying any extra products, things of that nature, from them. We got to do it the best way we can. Their numbers have got to go down in order for them to start listening to the people. It's either going to be him or us. And right now, it's him. Oh, that's why you asked. Yeah, I don't know yet, Vera, but I will check and see, Vera, and get back to you whether it's going to be, let me write that down. Temu, AliExpress, I don't know. Well, again, he's Chinese, but I believe he's Chinese. And Shine. I'm going to look at these companies. Like the other gentleman said, I think it was a gentleman, said, I think it was Savewit, was it? Going to make a list of all the DEI ones. I'm looking for anybody who supports this man, because if they're supporting him, that means he's getting money from them, and they're trying to fund themselves through our government dollars. And if we want to starve that, we got to figure out a way to get rid of that, of somehow being able to like get rid of that power. And that might be to stop putting money into the economy and only buy the necessities for the next 6 months, whatever it may be. I don't know what it is yet. If somebody wants to come up with one, that's fine. I'm gonna devise one myself. Like I said, it's not a me thing. It's a we thing. It's gonna take all of us to do it. It's not gonna be like, we just following, Mr. Straight Facts plan. We gotta do mine. You gotta do yours. You gotta do yours. Because, people who follow you don't follow me. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta really work as a group of people, reaching out to everybody and saying, look, we may not agree on certain things, but that's the thing about democracy. We can agree, and then we can agree to disagree and act civilly because we are a democracy. We've always been proud of having a democracy. It's better than anything else. We don't went to other countries and unalive people just to instill a democracy. I'm not saying it's always been right. It's just the fact that that's what we've done. That's what we believe in, being a democracy. And if we want to go to another platform, if you want to do nobody wants to go to socialism. Some people don't, but the majority of us don't. Some people do rather, but the majority of us don't. And in a dictatorship, none of us want to go there. Well, there's a small minority that does. But we'll see. If we can't get Americans behind ending a dictatorship, they must want it. All right, cool, Woke Mike. So when you do check it out, if you get a chance, anybody get a chance, validate some stuff, tell me the truth. We can come in and I'll find out myself as well. That way we kind of all on the same basis, because I may find something, and sometimes information is kind of deeper. You may put in the right keywords that I might not be able to find it. And so, if you find something that validates that people are still behind Trump or invalidates, then come on and, put in the comment section. No, they said they stopped. Okay, cool. I didn't see it. And then I'll continue to, to purchase whatever from them. But it's going to take a cohesive group of doing it. Whatever idea I get from here will be available for the people, you and your chat. Thank you, Say Wit. Most definitely. Yeah, Michelle, 100%. Trump and all his enablers got to go. And again, people are going to wait to the last minute. And it's impossible to return. I think it's impossible. It's hard as hell to take a dictatorship back to a democracy. The Teslas are on fire. Yeah. And Woke Mike, I don't know who caught that, who charged that, who put it on fire. It may be liberals. I don't know. But they said they caught 3 before I went live. I saw an article that said they caught 3 people who put it on fire, who burned something or whatever. I don't know what it is. I gotta look it up. So don't quote me, but I got a theory on it. I don't have facts. And the thing that, with what do you call it? Black Lives Matter, when George Floyd passed away or was killed. Sorry about passed away, but a lot of those burned down buildings, a lot of those defaced buildings, glass broken, were done by people who infiltrated the group. It was a racist white organization that was going in and doing those things, pretending to be a part of Black Lives Matter and running up and painting BLM on stuff. And then there was a core group of other people who were, but they weren't a part of Black Lives Matter. They were just mad people who were there. They weren't a part officially of the organization. And they went in and looted places. That's what you have photos of people looting. That was all races. It wasn't just black. They just caught most of the black people coming out. But there was all races doing that. But none of that was right. But my point of this is it was a plethora of people that had nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. It was just their march, which meant 99% of them were doing good and being lawful. That 1%, which wasn't all, or which was none of them were a part of Black Lives Matter, period. They were just at that function. And so they demonized it. And so with them, with the same thing with Donald Trump and all his minions, we have to figure out a way to destroy what they're trying to build. And that's a dictatorship. If anybody have any questions for me, thank you, WBC or BWC. I got all dyslexic on you. Oh, I see, right. One African World Connected. There we go. Thank you for your info. Thank you. I appreciate you. One African World Connected. So we got to do the best we can to keep, a democracy. And I'm going to keep fighting. I know you're going to keep fighting. If you want to, when you I'm live again, or I'm going to start talking in the community, I'm getting used to this. It's a lot of things that I'm working on. We can discuss, like what you've done this week. What have you done to save democracy? I might pose that question in one of the videos, like, what are you doing to make sure democracy stays and a dictatorship dies? But yeah, and hopefully, we can put things out there. Again, like I said, we got to have media blitz and all kinds of things. Thank you guys for your support. Thank anybody who gave me gifts. Thank you for subscribing. It keeps us going, keeps us moving. So I appreciate that. Anything else anybody may have? Are you Blue Sky? Are you on Blue Sky, Ms. Facts? Hey, Lynn. Yes, I am on Blue Sky. I think I'm at Mr. Straight Facts, whatever the thing is as far as Blue Sky. I forgot how it's written, but yeah, I'm on there. And then I said, whatever. Okay, I got that. So yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys get up out of here. I hopefully I added something to you guys' life. Hopefully some of these things you got, because there was a lot of information. I didn't cover everything, but I will continue talking about this, because we can't just have a one and done. We have to get this out there, so I'm gonna have to keep talking about it over and over again, adding new facts, adding new things that we can do, because there are gonna be some things you can do, some things you're not willing to do. I'm cool with that. But as long as we have an army doing what they do best, and being effective and changing the minds and the hearts of people who are against democracy, and get them to want to love it again and want it back, I'm all for it. All right? Cool. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow, Friday, 5 p.m., around that time. I'm a 5 p.m.-ish person, because I end up getting home late sometimes because I do the traffic to be able to do this. So I appreciate you holding off until I can get in. But until the next time, I'm telling you guys, stay brilliant, because you are. And keep fighting for democracy, because it's the only thing we've all known our entire lives. And even though we've had some ups and downs in this country, we've never had it like third world countries. We've always talked about these third world countries, these countries with dictators, and how their lives are destroyed, and how the resources are just given to the wealthy, and everybody else becomes economically dependent on programs to be able to keep them alive. Middle class people go to poor people just end up just extremely poor, because they're greedy. They want all the money, and if they take all the money, that leaves you with nothing. Okay, so we'll definitely keep the vibrations high. Thank you, Vera. Try my dangest to do so. Hey, Leslie, how you doing? You're very welcome. You're very welcome. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see y'all tomorrow. See if I can get this set up right. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And you guys have a blessed night, safe night. Much love.